Good Monday morning. It's Jeff with Only Passengers. Rocking the new micro Rode mic. Finally got the wire configuration figured out so I can actually use an external mic on my way to work. Very curious of how this mic's gonna work. I did a little test with it yesterday afternoon after I got home. Sounds amazing. Just curious on what road noise it's gonna pick up, if it's gonna pick up engine noise, whatnot. It's currently 6:30 in the morning. I don't think anybody should have to be awake that early, ever. You can stay awake till 6:30 in the morning, not wake up. It's 75 degrees out. It's beautiful. Wish I was on the motorcycle today. And that doesn't bode well with filming and testing out the new mic. Probably be a little windy. Last night we got all of our clothes packed for our trip coming up. Probably go swing by the camper today and put those in there. The sun has not quite come up yet. Oh, it's a great time to be heading work when you work east of where you live. It's not shining in your eyes for the entire drive. Today is Monday, which means I am over the halfway point of 7 days straight working, which is always a good feeling. So, my drive this morning is very light on traffic. Tends to drive fast. Speed limit's 50. People are passing me like I'm standing still. Why do the YouTube channel? My daughter wanted to do it. My daughter wanted to do it. She's currently 4. It's fun. With the vlogs and my wife, she would like to be behind the scenes more, not really be on camera. She doesn't really like it, so she is starting a blog that'll correlate with this channel and the Instagram. She making shirts for us. Most of the shirts you'll see me in the parks she made. She has the ability to pretty much make whatever. Glad I'm almost at work because the sun is almost peeking its head over the tree line. It's about to get really bright. Just past probably about 10 or 15, I think they're called sandhill cranes. Birds. A little red on top of their head. Sound like velociraptors when they're squawking or whatever you would call the noise a bird makes. It's definitely not chirping. very interesting noise. Oh, it's peaking. Coffee or no coffee? Should I get a coffee and then go to work? Be late, possibly. Oh, here it is. Oh, I can't even see. Can't see. Holy cow. No cars, okay. Yeah, I'll just get a coffee inside at work. Whee! A little sunburst there. Probably gonna get one here again shortly. There it is. It is a warm one today. It is. It's hot. So hot. So hot. A rainstorm come through west of where I work earlier, and it dropped the temperature by about 15 degrees. It never quite made it to where I work. And then it's storm lines building up east of where I work, but never rained at the store. Let's talk about running. I have never run a registered 5K, 10K, half marathon, full marathon, anything. I've never run as a registered runner. I used to run all the time when I was little. I played soccer, I played football. Not for long. Decided that wasn't for me. Don't ask my wife about it. And I always ran. I feel like Forrest Gump right now, because, if I needed to go somewhere, I ran there. But I never ran for anything. So, Run Disney come up on my Instagram the other day. Run Disney Rival Run Star Wars 2020. And I happened to text my buddy, and he's like, let's do it. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. And we've said this numerous times for other races and whatnot, and we've never really did it. So I was just joking around, telling my wife about it, and then she signed me and my buddy up to Run Disney 2020. I can run a 5K on a treadmill with no problem. I'm not fast, but I can do it. Not really looking forward to doing this physically, but I've got a little less than a year to train, so it'll be alright. Because not only did she sign me and my buddy up for the 5K, she signed us up for the 10K the next day later. So, not only am I getting my first race ever, I'm doing the second one twice as long the very next day. I'm not in shape for this. It'll be fun. There's a lot of other people I know, talk to, and different forms of group text or whatnot that are going to be running, so it'll be fun. What do I go as? What do I dress up as? Because the thing to do for Disney runs is to dress up or get an outfit to run in. So I'm interested. The concept of it is very interesting. For, I guess, all the runs Disney does is all costumed or whatever you want to call it, which is awesome. I'm not excited though, physically. Mentally, I'm very excited. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. Oh. So I ran the other day for the first time in, I don't know, 2 months. And I normally go to the gym and run on the treadmill, but I decided to measure around my neighborhood and see how long it is, because if I can just run at the house, I don't have to go to the gym and run. It's 2.5 miles. No. It's like 2.09 miles from my front door around my neighborhood back to my front door. I couldn't have asked for anything better. To run a 10K, I run it 3 times and I've got it. So what I'm going to try to do is get conditioned to running 4 times. That way if I run a 5K, you ran it twice. And when I run the 10K, I'll have been conditioned to running longer. That way when I actually do the 10K, it'll not be a challenge when I get towards the end of it. And if I get myself conditioned to where I'm running every day at that distance, running the 2 races back to back won't be anything. Thank you to my wife, who is not letting me and my buddy I guess for children, close your ears, a BS reason to back out of it. Not a BS like, well, let's do this, and we never do. She just did it for us. Thank you, babe. We probably needed that. Last night, Dole Whip Dad did his live stream disc tube. The guy that was originally supposed to do it with him had something come up and he couldn't do it, so he got his mom to live stream with him. Awesome live stream. Awesome Q&A back and forth, talking about old school Disney land and how they used to go all the time, and all the different rides and different, attractions and different foods and whatnot that old Disneyland used to have when he was younger. It just makes me think about going to Disney World when I was younger and all the different things that I used to do when I was there that are no longer there. One being major news right now is the Skyliner is getting ready to open, and it's going to be the next big thing for Disney World transportation. I think they should just extend the monorail line. The Swan and Dolphin's already set up for the monorail. When they built it, if you look at the Swan and Dolphin, there is a big square section of glass in the middle of both the main structures. You ever wonder what that was for? It was for the monorail, because they were going to extend the line, and they never did. So, what I remember growing up at Disney World with the Skyliner coming up is the Skyway. it was so awesome just to soar out over Fantasyland, to go over our version of Autotopia. Sorry, guys. My phone turned off due to the heat being in my windshield on the way home. It turned off about 4 miles from my wife's parents' house where my daughter was at. You're silly. And I didn't realize that till I got there, and then I got home and figured out where I was at and what I was talking about. So what I was saying was the Skyway ride used to go over our version of Autotopia, and it used to exit and entrance to it was where the bathrooms are in Tomorrowland behind the stage next to Space Mountain.
Get it out.
Okay. Now the other end of that was where Rapunzel's bathrooms are in Fantasyland. I really enjoy what they did with that area for Rapunzel's tower, the Rapunzel's bathrooms. I mean, it's absolutely stunning. It's beautiful, especially at nighttime. The bathrooms are beautiful on the inside. It's crazy.
Good.
So, I'm being fed tea out of a teacup on the end of a
Metal detector.
on the end of a play crib and a very heavy magnet that my daughter has found and is now attacking me with a teacup. As you can hear her probably in the background laughing. Oh. The bathrooms are beautiful. I do miss the building that was there, kind of the slope down. It's just from my childhood, so it's something I'll always remember. I mean, I can see it clearly right now in my head. But I am not sad about what they did with the Rapunzel area. It is beautiful. The Skyway ride had its issues. A couple tragic things happened. They would shut it down a lot due to Florida weather with the lightning or high winds or the rains. You don't really want to be out there in that mess during that. I will say it kind of took away a little bit of the magic for me when I was a little kid, because, I mean, a kid's perspective, you're looking up into these buildings that are forced perspective to make the buildings look taller. And now you're up on top of this Skyway ride and you're looking down on top of these buildings and you're seeing the people walking through the pathways, and the tops of the buildings were not themed. I mean, you saw the roof drains, you saw the gravel on top of the roofs, you saw air conditioning, you saw all kinds of different whatnot to run a building on top of the roof. For me, it took a teeny tiny bit of the magic away. What else do I remember? 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. I remember that. It's now where that was is what is now where Mine Trains is. That whole area behind Mine Trains was nothing. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. I rode that a couple times. I think I was 7 the last time I rode that, and then they got rid of it. And then we got Ariel's Grotto. And it was kind of always walled off or covered up, so you couldn't really ever do anything. It was weird. It was weird. It was a weird time. And then, what else did we have? Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Walt Disney World had Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. It is now Winnie the Pooh ride. Don't hate it. I love it. There's a nod to Mr. Toad in that ride. Mr. Toad's handing the deed over to Owl. There's a node in the park, Magic Kingdom, to Mr. Toad over by Haunted Mansion in the Pet Cemetery. If you look up in there, you'll see Mr. Toad up there. I'm going to plug that picture in for you right now. Camera noise. There's some things I do miss. I remember Magic Kingdom without Splash Mountain. I was very young. Do remember that, though. Because, like, one year I was there, and there was a train station, and then, like, a little while later, there was all of a sudden this huge mountain with a tree stump on top of it. What is this ride? It's amazing. I still ride that ride today, and just... I absolutely love it. It's one of my all-time favorite rides. My daughter loves it. Me and my daughter went one time with just me and her without my wife because she was working, and she was tall enough to ride Splash Mountain, so we rode Splash Mountain. All right, guys, I have picked up the one and only. There she is, right there. There she is. Miss Eleanor. She's a little camera shy. She's looking. You can see her little eyeballs back there in her forehead and her crazy hair. Hey, Eleanor. When's your birthday? July 25th. How many days away is that? 3.
I'm scared a little bit.
You're scared a little bit, but you're so excited. What are you excited to do on your birthday? Camping? And going to Disney to camp? Do you know where we're staying at Disney to camp?
Wilderness.
Fort Wilderness Campgrounds?
We've been there.
We have been there.
It was so much fun.
Will you tell me about the first time you went down Splash Mountain?
It started in my brain.
It excited your brain?
It started it.
Oh.
It started.
What happened on Splash Mountain?
You have a big water slide, and on your walk, and there's a bunny at the front, and there even is.
Is there a bunch of animals inside?
Yeah.
What do they do? They all do what?
Move.
Do they sing and dance?
Yeah.
How do you know you're going down the big drop?
How you go up and then splash down.
Is it so much fun?
Yeah, and you get wet.
You get so wet, don't you?
You get soaking wet. In the front, you get really wet.
Yeah? Is your tongue still blue from your popsicle?
Uh-huh.
Is there anything else about Splash Mountain you can think of?
I'm gonna try. Yeah.
What?
There is like splayers inside. It goes.
Yeah?
They keep doing that forever.
Did we take a picture of the first time we went down Splash Mountain?
Yeah.
And what did you look like?
I don't remember.
Show me. Were your arms up in the air? Whee! First time down the big drop on Splash Mountain, and this one had her arms up the entire time. Was it so much fun? And we got a picture too, didn't we? Where is the picture? It's on the ceiling?
Yeah.
Is it on the back side of my phone?
Uh-huh.
I have the picture that they take while you're going down the big drop, and I put it in between my phone and my phone case because I have a clear phone case.
And you can scream.
That way, it's just
You scream
great
real
picture.
loud.
You scream real loud?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Careful. All right, everyone. I'm going to wrap it up with that. Seriously, this kid, she's out of control. Oh, and the dog. The dog wants to say hello.
Okay.
This is Romeo. Stop trying to kiss me. No. You go kiss Eleanor.
I'm gonna go on my back.
All right, guys. This has been Jeff and now Eleanor. We are Only Passengers. Thanks for watching. Please hit that like button. Leave me a comment. And don't forget to subscribe. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow.